Bring it back. Bring it back. Bring it back. Bring it back.
Check, 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 check.
Bring it back. 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 Bring it back.
This is very hard to explain because it's a complex technology, but
For some reason unknown to everybody, my Stream Deck gave up on me, but seems to be working now. So, from the And the Groove Remains production team studios in the Netherlands, my name is Mixmaster G and welcome to this live stream. My mission is not to sell you as many apps as I can. No, my mission is to help you, educate you, teach you about audio track collection management and conversion for DJs, so you save yourself some time for the fun and creative part of being a DJ. For all of you who are unaware of who I am, a quick introduction. I am a 50-year-old dude from the Netherlands. I had my first DJ residency at the age of 15, which means this is over 40 years of DJ experience in the flesh. I am no longer an active DJ, I call myself a retired DJ. However, you may know me from a little app that I wrote, and that app of course is named the DJ Conversion Utility, and it would be very nice if my Stream Deck would not find me. Let's see if I can fix that, folks, because I need my Stream Deck, otherwise this won't fly. Let's see. Nothing happening there. Nothing happening there. Oh, that's nice. That was the intro tune. Let me restart the Stream Deck software. Hold on. Now it lights up. And will it do anything? Now it gives you... let's hope that it stays this way. You may know me from the DJ Conversion Utility. It is not the only app I wrote for DJs. I also wrote a ton of other apps, all aimed at making the life for you as a DJ a little bit easier. And this app in particular is going to be the focus of this live stream. Now, I hear you think, yo, Mixmaster G, are you not going to talk about the CDJ 3000X? And of course I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about it in depth. I'm going to talk about it with the unit right here in the studio. However, they are not in today. And my good friend Jeroen Groenendijk from Pioneer DJ the Netherlands had another appointment, so he couldn't make it on the introduction day. So tomorrow, same time, we are going to have a live stream, especially for the CDJ 3000X. We have the unit in-house. Jeroen will be here to answer all and any questions for that. Some might have noticed that in the past time it is a little bit empty in front of where usually my CDJ 3000s and Nexus 2 900 were. That's because I sold those and I'm going to buy a new set of CDJ 3000Xs. I was close to the development team of the CDJ 3000Xs, not that I did have any influence about it, but I knew about it since I think beginning of this year. And I had to keep my mouth shut, obviously, because I'm under NDA. And now we can finally talk and speak about it. But before we do that, let's say hi to the people in the chat and that are already there. And yes, you may see me switch my... glasses on and on. Off, because sometimes I need them, sometimes I don't. It's not that I'm very vain, I'm totally not vain, as most people who know me would indeed attest to, but I may need them. So let's from the start. Do the DJ, happy Tuesday Mixmaster G, hope is all well, all is very well though and good to have you with us. Mac Joseph, yeah, the CDJ 3000 is garbage, I don't know why, but it is a fine machine. And Denon had those features. Mac, come on, get over it. We are far over the whole Denon DJ versus Pioneer DJ thing. They all got their place in the market. I'm not a fanboy of either of them. I'm under nobody's contract. So I'm totally independent. I've got CDJ, or I've got SC6000 amps right next to me. I've got a Numark mix stream right next to me. Trust me, nothing beats a CDJ 3000, but feature-wise, maybe the Denons win there. But I'm the last one to say that's garbage, that's just bullshit. Javaman, hi Mixmaster G, how are you today? I'm doing great, thank you Javaman. Let's see, what else do we've got? Stin Eldo, seems Alpha Theta wants to push everyone to use the online subscription together with Tidal plus DJ extension. It's a heavy monthly price tag. I'll miss the SD slot. I don't miss the SD slot because in general SD cards are much slower than USBs, especially the latest batch of USBs, those of DJ Tech Tools, of 𝗵𝗶𝗿𝗀 themselves, or the original SanDisk Duo Pro. They are much faster than any SD card on the market, and that's a notable bit difference. That's just not milliseconds, that is a whole lot of difference. So forget about SD cards, they will not be missed. About the pushing toward streaming, I don't know if this is going to work out in the coming years. Over time, sure, because every teen right now alive is using subscription software for Spotify, for Beatport, I don't know what. So they are used to that model and they are used to have everything online. They don't own their music anymore and they are totally fine with it, and they cannot even imagine that there used to be a time that you owned your own tracks. But until that time, I don't think that online and all the streaming mumbo jumbo is going to be a huge deal, apart from the fact that the way that CloudSync is implemented inside Rekordbox is not what I really like. It's not that stable. I have helped so many DJs over the years already recovering from a SoundCloud and SoundSync drama that I don't know if that's going to fly, but maybe one day they get it right and then it might be a valuable and noteworthy thing to do. And of course there is this thing that you need to have a very good internet connection at the performance location in the DJ booth. And apart from not using Wi-Fi in a club, that might be a different thing. So too many moving parts to rely on streaming right now. It's fun that it is there, but not that big of an issue. If you are interested in my opinion about the CDJ3000X, then watch Mojaxx review. And Mojaxx, why is this thing fighting me? I don't know. Seems to be very odd. Hold on folks, because this is annoying the shit out of me. Why is this thing not working the way it's supposed to be? Maybe it is.
DJ conversion utility is a game changer for me. DJ conversion utility is a game changer
Maybe
for me.
I lose contact in my Stream Deck. I don't know. There is something odd going on with my Stream Deck, because usually I should just be able to say
DJ conversion utility is a game changer for me.
And that should be fine, but hey, who knows? It is acting up, so be noted about that. But I totally agree with Mojaxx, his insight and review of the 3000X. And the fun part, if you watch that tutorial or that review, take a good note, because Mojaxx is still using the DJ conversion utility to convert to Rekordbox. I spoke to him earlier today, and he still is, and he still loves it. 𝗪𝗪𝗀, everything we're talking about now will be a non-issue for the future DJs. I tend to agree in a great part there, 𝗪𝗪𝗀, and salute my friend, because the future DJs will have a totally different mind game. I think stage presence and social media presence and stuff like that will be much more important than skill sets and music knowledge, etc. for the future so-called DJs. It is sad, it kind of breaks my DJ heart, but I think that is the skeptical truth about all of this. But enough said about this. Something else that is going on as we speak right now, and that I couldn't care less about, is the Apple event, where Apple is going to introduce new products. It would be amazing to me if they introduce something that I am interested in. The last thing I liked something Apple did, it was with the Mac Mini M4, and I've got quite a few of them running around here, and they are excellent machines. But if it comes to my iPhone, I think my iPhone is still an iPhone 13 or something, and it suits me just right. Battery is just fine. Speed is just fine. Features are, I don't need a better camera. I'm totally not interested in any kind of AI on my phone. So for that, right now, I would be amazed if it was something that I would update to, but I don't think that's the case with Apple. Then, 𝐶𝐻, setting hot cues while playing a track also seems like a gimmick. Most DJs prepare these cue points beforehand, these smart cues. Yeah, but the thing is, 𝐶, that of course Mojaxx was hammering on that point, but you could already do that. The 𝐒𝐻𝐸3000 already has that feature. The only difference is that you have to log in using a USB instead of an NFC. And that's it. That's the only difference. Everything else was and is already there in the 𝐒𝐻𝐸3000, including setting hot cues on a CDJ, which are synced back to the cloud. So nothing new under the sun there. What I did like was the cue preview function, but that is not something that I think most DJs are waiting for either. Then DJ Subculture is joining us from Los Angeles. Good to have you with us, Subculture. 𝗏 is saying, I've got it with closed captions since I'm an Apple head and used to work for them. Forgive me. Oh, 𝗏, if something interesting is happening at the event, let us know. But don't tell me that the next iPhone is interesting. And I am a certified Apple expert since 1992. I've got the paper right here in the, so yes, Apple is kind of my life, and there was a time and day that I could really get excited about these events. These days, I only watch the important bullet points from the developer conference and for the product conference. Well, unless there is something shockingly new coming out, I think it might be a watch with a blood pressure meter on it, but hey, look at me. I'm not a watch guy, so though that blood pressure meter should be at my age something that I might need, but for the rest of it, not really. Then other things that are going on. Let's open it and then let's switch screens. That switching screens these days goes better. That is if my Stream Deck is not fighting me. Rekordbox 722 is introduced following the 𝐒𝐻𝐸3000X introduction. And you can see that is the compatibility edit. Fun fact, if you update, don't use the updater within Rekordbox. Just download the DMG file, that is this DMG file, and then update. Another fun fact, if you download this, then you will see that the date that it was packed is end of August already. So this was a long time in the making. So that is for Rekordbox. Then you have the same thing from our friends from Serato, but I closed my AMA, hold on, watch list. So let me get that back up. And let's put it on here. There we are. The Serato 3.3.4, which also had the 3000X supported. Of course, I am waiting for Algorithm DJ to support it, and I assume that is not that long away from now on. Yeah, 𝗏 also agrees and that the Apple event has minor updates get planned, so I'm not that enthusiastic or hyped up about it as I maybe used to be. But we will see, maybe Cook has something really nifty in his sleeve that he didn't tell anybody about, and that would be a good thing, I think. Then this week I released the beta for Spotify 2 audio files, the app that I kind of previewed a little bit last week, and this week I want to dive deep into that. And because tomorrow we stream again with Jeroen and the 𝐒𝐻𝐸3000X together, I thought, all right, let's do the walkthrough for the beta right here. So the people that are in the beta know exactly which functions are meant for what, because there is not an official tutorial yet. It's still a moving target. I found, I got quite some feedback with useful features that have been implemented. The version I'm about to use, I compiled just 30 minutes ago. So don't shoot me if it got bugs. Worst case, I go back to a previous version. But I think we should be good. So let's go to that. For those of you unaware, and of course that Stream Deck is fighting. What is going wrong with that Stream Deck? Let me see if maybe that cable is loose or something. Because it used to work so beautifully. Does it switch? Yeah, now it switches again. I don't know. Have to see that. Okay, Spotify to Audio Files is an app that allows you to recreate a Spotify playlist URL from your audio files. The audio files you already own. It's not a ripping tool. It is a tool that finds all the audio files. And let me fire it up and then let me take you through it. At least that is working fine. Because it's a beta, I've got my famous ugly beta warning in front of it. Not that it will create chaos inside your collection, but hey, I need to warn you that this is not the final product. It is comprised of two parts. The first part is syncing its database. It has its very own library, its very own database with whatever software you're using. Right now you can see that it says 108,000 tracks, which is my live database. And I can do that because everything is on my terabyte, so I can just reach those tracks. But this is the synchronization part. And there you can simply say what you want to synchronize from, and that can be direct from Rekordbox 6 or 7, direct from Serato. Apple Music, you need to create the famous Apple Music library, XML, or it can scan a random folder. If you enable the Serato DJ Sync, you see that there is the option ignore Serato star ratings, which will be much faster. Short explanation. With Serato DJ Pro 4, the beta, Serato finally got star ratings, but those star ratings are stored inside the audio file, which means if the Spotify audio files synchronization wants to know the star ratings of a certain track, it needs to scan that audio file for the tag that holds the rating. And for that reason, it can be slow. And for that reason, by default, it is off. But if you are a Serato DJ Pro 4 user and use the star ratings of Serato, then take this off and it will use the star ratings of Serato, but it will be a lot slower. The rest is pretty straightforward. There's also a cleanup function that is right here that cleans up the library, the Spotify audio file library for tracks that are no longer available and stuff like that, so you don't get too many false flags. By the way, you never can get a false flag from a file that is not available simply because those will not be in the results. But it's just a feature there. So this is pretty straightforward stuff. We will get into that. I will use that during this walkthrough later on, but for now, just know that it's there. You can scan as many times as you like. It doesn't matter if those collections overlap. So if Rekordbox mainly has the same tracks as Serato, mainly has the same tracks as the music app, it really doesn't matter. You can scan as much as you like, so as many times as you like. And I even advise you to do that, because if you want to keep that data inside the database up to date, then you need to scan every now and then, especially if you need new tracks. Then the interesting part is happening right here. That is where you convert from that Spotify playlist to the results. And roughly it is divided in a few segments. The first segment is where you paste the Spotify playlist. So let me get a Spotify playlist here. And by the way, if you guys are interested in how will this work with my own Spotify playlist, just get me the URL in the comments. Now I know you cannot paste a URL. URL is like this. You cannot paste that URL inside the comments because that is not allowed by the system. But if you just get me that last part that hexadecimal part, then I know what Spotify playlist it is about, and I can just put it in the system and we can see what it comes up with. Don't take too long playlists because we don't want to be here forever, but if you want to see, hey, how does it work with my own playlist? No problem. Another noteworthy option or thing about the playlist, and let me paste it right there, is that these should be user maintained playlists or user curated playlists. There are also specific Spotify playlists that Spotify itself curates. Those cannot be used. Only user curated playlists, but that is what the majority of us DJs come across because you have a wedding and the couple gives you their Spotify playlist. That is a user curated playlist and you're good to go. The next thing we need to talk about is the artist and title match similarity setting. First of all, you see a slider here. And with that slider you can set how similar both the artist and the title of the Spotify track should be to the ones in your database. What does that mean? You can imagine if you use the name Michael Jackson, then yeah, that's pretty simple. But if you use Jackson Michael, that is not a match, right? Well, StAF uses a very clever matching technology that will still tell you that Michael Jackson or Jackson Michael is about 99% match. So there is some very much cleverness going inside this whole system. It doesn't need to be an exact match. It will take care of the close matches. And how close the match should be, that is what you decide with this slider. The looser you want the match to be, the less the value, and the higher, the better the match should be, the higher the value. In my testing, 80 is the setting that has the best balance between what you want to see and what you can see. If you go lower, then you just get a lot of noise in the results. And if you go higher, then maybe the results are missing that particular one that you're looking for. Then there is this trigger. The results include all matches above the threshold, not just the top ones. So if you have a list of matches inside, you don't see those matches, it uses them inside, that are about a certain level of certainty that they are the ones that you are looking for. As long as that is above this 80, they will all be included in the results. In other words, the results will consist of more than one track. If you take this off, then it will only look at the highest scoring matches. That can still be more than one track. It can be that all tracks scored 95, for instance, so then you get a list of 95s. But in general, this works again best. Then we have the result filter. So above, first the results are created, the matches are created, and then those matches are filtered. And you can filter it down. First of all, you see limit the result to the top matching single track. You see that that is disabled, and that is because we said here that we want all the matches above a certain threshold. If you take this off, this becomes available. So those are kind of mutual exclusive. It's either you want all the matches and then you cannot go for the single track, or you want only the best matches and then you can go for the single track. Then you have the possibility to select or to filter for the tracks whose track length, whose play length is the closest to the Spotify track in the playlist that you try to convert. In general, I must admit, I leave that one off because the next ones are the more interesting ones. The star rating and play count ones. Now, before I dive into those two, it is important to notice that star ratings and play count are not standardized tags. That means they are not stored inside the audio file as a standard, like artist or title are, for instance. Those are always the same because those are stored inside the track. No, these are proprietary tags, proprietary stored, which means that you can have a star rating of 4 in, let's say, Rekordbox, but that star rating never shows inside Spotify or inside music or inside Serato. For that reason, if you synchronize tracks from a collection, that is that previous screen, remember, it will lower star ratings if they are lower, but if the star rating in the DJ software you choose to synchronize for is 0, it will not sync it. So it must have at least a rating of 1 in order to be syncable, and then the last one simply counts. The last sync simply counts. You can select only the tracks with the highest star rating, or you can say, no, I'm not sure what I want to do. I want all the tracks, let's say, with a star rating of, hold on, a star rating of 3 or more. And then it will just select the tracks with a star rating of 3 or more. You can see that the tracks with the high star rating then automatically goes off. And now it is both available again. The same with play count. Not a standardized tag, but play count is a good indication for you how often you have used the track, because that will have a high play count. If you synchronize, remember, that is that screen back from your DJ software, and the DJ software has a play count that is lower than the one stored in the StAF database, it will not take that value. So a play count can never be lowered, it can only be increased, and a star rating can be lowered. However, if that star rating is 0, then it's ignored. So more about that. I'm not going to use the filters yet. We are going to use the filters later on, so I can show you the power of that. And then finally you can say what software you want to convert to. Let's go for all three. New function is organize all matches of each Spotify track in a sub-playlist or create named artist title. This is a very important feature, and it is on by default, because if you have multiple matches, you want to know which track that match is about, which Spotify track is that match about. So if you put all those matches in a playlist or in a crate with the name of that Spotify track, then it's much easier for you to trace back. Somebody, I think it was Doe, but I might be mistaken, asked for the feature to also create an entry for the tracks that are missing, and I included that. I will enable it now. I can see that it can be convenient, because then you don't have to leave your DJ software to see which tracks are missing. It will show it in the DJ software. But on average, it will be off by default. And then finally, you can generate an iTunes Music Store smart shopping list for the missing tracks. That shopping list has clickable links that lead you direct to the track. So if you miss tracks from that Spotify list and you need them, then it's just 2 clicks away to buy them. Show that later on as well. So let's see first what happens if we just start a conversion with all the default settings, and we are going to all 3 DJ platforms right now. And this is all real time, because hey, we are on a live stream, right? Yeah, that is allowed to do. Right now it is exporting to music, as you can see. Again, the progress bar always gives you feedback about what's going on. Most important reason for having that progress bar is just so you stay informed that something is going on. It is not necessarily the best indication how long something is going to take, because halfway it can just shoot through, but it's more important just to give you an indication, something's going on, I have to wait. Because these tracks are not inside music, it takes a little bit. Of course, there are safeguards in place to make sure that tracks are not moved by music, and you get warnings if you have the wrong setting. So all those normal ATGR safeguards are in place. This is a safe thing to do. And if you don't have Rekordbox or Serato, going to the music file is the best option you have. But when this is finished, we can already take a look at music and I can show you some things while it in the back is working for Serato and for Rekordbox. We don't need to wait for that. So let me open. Here we've got music. Now if we go right in it, you see right here this folder is created with the date and time of today. The playlist was named Super Sport List, and you see the folders with the exclamation mark in front of it are the folders that are the tracks that are missing. Those are those empty folders, and then you can of course take the name of that playlist from here and copy it and then see if there's a match in the playlist. And these are the tracks that are matches indeed. Now I picked the wrong playlist I saw because this is not what I want, but you already get an idea about, okay, look, for instance, the 𝐒𝐻𝐨 Thunder in My Heart track has a lot of versions. And let's put them in the list. And you see that 2 of those versions have star ratings. The rest doesn't have star ratings. There are no plays there. By the way, in music you cannot change the star ratings. By changing the star ratings of the 𝐒𝐻𝐨 track to, let's say, this is the original, I think. And this is the, let's see, let's get the year with it, because of course that is, yeah, that's the original. So I don't necessarily want that in my result, so I made that a rating of 3 and I keep this a rating of 5. And let's say there is a very good remix that we really like. Let's say it's this one. Then I give that a star rating 2. So I tweaked a little bit with the settings of the Thunder in My Heart track. And ever since Rekordbox is opening 2, and if I go inside a Rekordbox, then you've got the very same thing go away. You see that here, you see the Super Sport list here, you see those exclamation mark, where am I? Go back. You see those extra, and the fun part is in Rekordbox, and only in Rekordbox, the track order will be the same as that Spotify list. So let me get that Spotify list next to it so you get an ID. Here we've got the Spotify list, as you can see, and there you can see that that order is the same in Rekordbox right now as it is in Spotify, but that is only in Rekordbox. Music, where I was a moment ago, always sorts chronologically, which sucks, but it is what it is. Serato 3.3 still has issues in maintaining a track list order. So you see that that is also kind of a drama to see. But we go back to Rekordbox. I still hate Serato for being so slow. Then you can see that that order is maintained. Let's go back to where I was at, and let's take a little bit of a smaller playlist so I can tweak a little bit. I can show you what tweaking with those results and with the star ratings, etc. means for the system, because like I said, this was a huge or a rather big playlist, but we want to do that for a much smaller playlist. No, I don't want to go to RCT. Come on. That's on me. So we are now into the go away, go away, go away. And then let me get a little bit of a smaller playlist. That is my default test playlist with some fun stuff going around in it. And you can see it is automatically pasted if it is already in the clipboard. Let me do the same thing. I'm now going to focus on music because it works exactly the same with everything else. But music gives you the clearest indication. Or I can do it only from Rekordbox. Let's do it only from Rekordbox, shall we? This time I'm not going to make the ugly marked tracks, and we will get to the shopping list later on. Let's first just do this very quickly, back and forth. Pablo Miami, salute. And yes, it is, Serato is damn slow in quitting and starting up. And especially, imagine I am on a very small test collection here. This is a very tiny collection because I clear it every time I'm done with the testing. But then again, Serato is still very painfully slow in quitting. It should quit with like a snap, like Rekordbox does or DJ does. All right, this was our previous test. This is the new test. You can see now where those times and dates are so important, because if you do the same playlist with different conversion settings, then it is useful to do that again. And let's have a look, for instance, right here at the 𝗵𝗵𝗿𝗶 Relied by Fire track. You can see there are two tracks. There is one track with a star rating of 5 and one with a star rating of none. This is an okay mix, but I rather like the old one more, so that is why I want to go to the 12. So let's give it a rating of 2. Let's give it a rating of 2. Then I know that Michael Jackson Billie Jean has a shitload of hits. Again, here we've got a remix of mine that I don't necessarily want in the results. And here is another remix that we can give 4 stars. Let's give this 2. So essentially, let me go over all the matches. 𝗏𝗏𝗏 also has, that's a 4-star, and that's a remix indeed. 𝗵𝗶𝗏𝗏 by Armin van Buuren is a single track. That's a single track. Tom Brown, Funking for Jamaica is fine. And then the Billie Jean. All right, so what I did is, instead of throwing away the results that I don't want, I tweaked the star ratings in Rekordbox, because next time I encounter those tracks, I don't want all that noise again. I just want the good results. So let me go back to my StAF. Let me switch that one off. Now, in order for StAF to know about the tweaks I just did, we need to sync it back. So I say I sync from Rekordbox. So now you see the sync in action. That is why I said you'll see it in action later on. It will be pretty quick. That was the sync. And that means that now we can match that same playlist again. But this time I will instruct it that I only want to see tracks with 3 stars or higher. And that means that a lot is going to be filtered out, and that is a lot easier to work with. And yes, those results also make their way to Music, Rekordbox and Serato. It's not just for Rekordbox. I just changed the settings in Rekordbox, but the results will be the same in all the apps. So right here we say that we want a minimum star rating of 3, like this. And then why not, let's go to all 3 again, because this will go quick enough. Oh, I didn't create a shopping list. We'll do that later on. You can see that the syncing to music is the slowest of the 3, but once the tracks are inside music, it will be just okay fast. It is what it is how music works. Thing is that the app has to wait for music to execute the task before giving it a new task, and that's why it's slowing down a little bit. But let's have a look right here, if it allows me. And now if we go through it, you can see there's only one Dan Hartman Relied by Fire. We have both disclosures because they both are at 3 or higher. And Michael Jackson Billie Jean also has only 3 hits. So this is what I mean with it is very powerful to use star ratings, but you can use play count exactly similar. The only, the only difference between track rating and play count is that the play count cannot be tweaked in Rekordbox or in music. But for instance, here we are in Serato, and let's go to, I don't know. And there you can edit the play count just as much as you like. As I mentioned before, if you sync this information back to the StAF database, a play count will never be decreased. It will only be increased. So if this value of 5 is lower than the value stored inside the database, it will not change to 5. It will keep that value. Makes sense, right? And as you can see, those results are also still the same as everywhere else. Now, finally, let's talk about that shopping list. And for that, because I didn't produce it with this particular playlist. Oh, and by the way, you also got the same results right here. Here they are, there they are. And you can see right now how powerful it is to have those things in a separate crate or in a separate playlist instead of just having all the results under the test playlist with various songs moniker, because now you can easily find which track was matched with what. Oh yeah, I wanted to show you the playlist generation and why that can be a useful feature too. Pablo, Serato 4 has ratings. I will have a look at it later on. Numbers in the comment field section and then using that for smart grade. Yeah, but that Pablo, that is only in Serato 4 and I found some things with it that I'm not totally happy with yet. So Serato users, I think play count will be your filter mechanism of choice, the logical one. Just to confirm, the ratings will translate to all other applications when you use the conversion. This is not a conversion tool. The DJ conversion utility indeed converts ratings across all platforms, including to and from Serato. This will set the ratings in Rekordbox and music, but it will not set them in Serato yet. I'm not sure if I'm going to implement that. DJ conversion utility takes care of that for DJ for Serato 4. For Serato 3, of course, it's not available. So let's do this again. Let's go only to music. You can see that it still knows in the clipboard. That is the place where when you do Command Z or Command Charlie, then it's stored in the clipboard and that contains still my playlist. So that's the reason why that is there. And then let's put this on and let's do the star rating minimum of 3. Like this. And then just sit back. Did I turn it on this time? I don't know. But that's easy to find out because in the documents folder in the 𝐴𝐻𝑅 production team folder. No, I didn't turn it on. My bad. So let's do that again. Alright, it's compiling the shopping list, so it's now compiled. And I made those specific things for StAF also ugly green. There it is. So here we've got and then we need this one and then we need that one. And here we've got all the stuff that was indeed found. And this one could use a little tweaking too. If you go to that shopping list that is created, which is right here, you see that there were 3 tracks that were not found. And if you right click this link and say open link, it will open the link right into music, right at the track. And there you can say show in the music store. And there you can buy it. It's as easy as it's just 2 clicks away. So again, if you want to have this track, you click on show it in the music store. and buy the track. I couldn't make it any easier, folks. And this, one of my current favorites, which is not in the collection on purpose because otherwise it would be on all day. You can just buy right there. So that is the power of the Spotify to audio file tool. If there are any questions, please ask. If there is a playlist you want me to test right now, give me the hexadecimal, that is the last part of the URL, and I'm happy to put it through the system. If not, then I will be back tomorrow with my close friend Jeroen Groenendijk and of course the 3000X. And we will nerd out over the 3000X. And just because Jeroen is my friend, that doesn't mean I will go easy on them. But on the other hand, I think, like Mojaxx said, of course, if you have 3000s already, then there is no real need to go to the 3000X. So 𝐿𝐼𝐺, why did you sell your stuff? Well, sometimes I'm a sucker for this kind of stuff. I admit it. So I just wanted the latest and greatest, and I knew when this was going to happen. So I had a little bit insight. So I sold everything before that and then just buy the new stuff. Pablo likes what StAF is doing. Pablo, StAF is already for sale for a reduced price. I think I made it like $80 or something, $18, $18. Final price will be a little bit higher. But you can already buy the beta and it's pretty safe to use. Javerman asks, this app only works with music streaming services, no Beatsource, right? Funny you ask, because that was one of the things that Mojaxx and I discussed. Right now, Beatsource, for instance, would not be a good service to use with this app, because Beatsource you mainly use for the DJ edits, and it's very unlikely that you have those particular DJ edits inside your collection. However, beatport streaming, that might be a worthy addition to it, and maybe, no promises, in a future release I will incorporate beatport as well, and then we just change the name from Spotify to audio files to streaming tracks to audio files. So maybe in the future, Javerman, but right now not in the cards. Pablo was about to ask about Beatsource, but like I said, I'm not sure if it is a useful addition for Beatsource, because those very specific DJ edits, redrums and stuff like that, that is why you use Beatsource. This is not a ripping tool, it's a matching tool. So you need to have those edits as an audio file bought from 𝐒𝐗𝐺𝐵, and that's the part where most people don't use it. So yeah, and thank you, Pablo. Yeah, I think it is a cool tool, and I think it was dope, but I'm not sure. Somebody in the stream like a month ago suggested, hey, can you make this? Because I'm using a service right now that I pay for only for this feature, and it's okay, but not that good. So I thought, well, I don't know if there is any demand for this. So I looked up how the demand was, or just got an impression of how demand was. And that's pretty big, because Nick Spinelli did a test of something that didn't impress me at all. And everything else was behind the subscription wall. And I thought, well, I don't want to be behind the subscription wall. I just want to make this available, like all my tools, at a one-off price, and a reasonable one-off price. And I think I succeeded in that. So the tool is already for sale inside the store. Let me see if I can get the URL, and otherwise the URL will be in the link below. And this stream was mainly kind of an... why is that thing fighting me again? I don't know. Oh, there it goes. It just takes its sweet time, but it is not how I want it to work. Let's see. There we are. There we are. And that is where it's even cheaper. It's Euro 7013 right now to buy. And that's because it's the beta period, and I hope to get feedback from the people who use this about other features, like the features I just showed you, are all based on user feedback. I am not an open format DJ, so I don't need this. I just know how to make this. And I can see that there is a demand for it. And that's the reason why I did put it together. That also means that we are at the end of the stream for today, unless you got a question. And if you got a question, just type in the chat, I got a question. So I wait a little bit longer before I go offline. And otherwise, we will be back same time tomorrow, but then with the 𝐶DJ3000X and with Jeroen. And we are going to nerd out about that 𝐶DJ3000X. In the meantime, watch Mojaxx his review of the 3000X, because that is essentially, I think, all you need to know about the unit. And I hope to see you guys all tomorrow evening, same time, same channel. For now, Mixmaster G, signing off. Kings and Queens Entertainment, I see you, family. Get back tomorrow, same time. We are going to talk 𝐶DJ3000. And you, particularly you, want to watch back this stream, because Pablo will assert to that I did introduce something pretty cool.